and that governments cover up this and other UFO cases. Dr. Michael Shermer is not so sure.
The problem with government cover-ups like that is people can't keep their mouth shut. If aliens were really here and the government was covering up, surely some lower echelon person would say, I've got the story of a lifetime.
Even if governments were trying to cover up UFO incidents, people haven't stopped questioning the official explanations.
Oh my gosh.
Either aliens exist or they don't. Either thought is frightening.
For any UFO to get here, it would have to travel across space from another part of the universe, light years away. Where might they come from? And just how would they get here? Has Earth ever had a close encounter with an alien civilization? There have been many supposed sightings of UFOs, but no definitive evidence of a visit. But whether or not aliens have dropped into our own backyard, many scientists do believe that they could exist.
I would be shocked if we were alone. It would be an incredible waste of space, considering how many galaxies there are. There should be lots of planets like ours with life.
The universe is about 14 billion years old and expanding at a phenomenal rate. It holds billions and billions of stars, far more stars than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. And some of these stars have planets orbiting them. There are plenty of places from which ET could originate. Physicist Lawrence Krauss believes that the most likely place for ET to call home would be on a planet similar to our own.
Kepler.
Life seems to form ubiquitously, relatively easily in conditions like this. So we would expect one simple way to find life would be to look for planets like Earth.
The problem is that any such planet is going to be a long, long way from Earth. Outer space distances are so vast, they are measured in light years rather than miles. 1 light year is a distance of nearly 6 trillion miles. That's the distance traveled in 1 year by a beam of light, moving slightly in excess of 186,000 miles per second. Light from our own sun reaches Earth in about 8 minutes and takes another 10.5 years to travel to the nearest known planet outside of our solar system. Any alien planning to visit us from this planet faces a round trip of over 120 trillion miles. The only way to shorten the duration of such a journey may be to go faster than the fastest thing we know in the universe: light itself.
In 1905, Einstein laid out special relativity. And in that theory, you cannot go faster than the speed of light. There's a cop on the block, in some sense, that says you can't break the light barrier.
Einstein's theory of special relativity suggests that there is a cosmic speed limit preventing anything and any alien going faster than the speed of light. However, in 1916, Einstein created an even more powerful theory, the general theory of relativity. It opens up the possibility that instead of beating the laws of physics, the answer might be to get around them. Theoretical physicist Michio Kaku believes that this holds the key to breaking the light speed barrier.
Space-time is a fabric that can be stretched and compressed and perhaps even ripped. That might give you the possibility to break the light barrier.
Einstein's theory proposes that matter causes space-time to curve. Imagine a heavy ball on a rubber sheet. The ball's presence causes the sheet to distort into a hollow. If a smaller ball is then dropped onto the sheet, it will spiral toward the heavier ball. Einstein theorized that space like the rubber sheet, is warped as objects travel through it. And if space can be warped, then there may be a novel way to travel from one side of the galaxy to the other.
If you have a sheet of paper, a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points. However, there's a loophole. If you were to fold a sheet of paper, then you realize the shortest distance between 2 points is actually a wormhole.
Some
A
scientists
wormhole.
suggest that wormholes are space-time tubes which act as shortcuts connecting distant regions of space. Theoretically, an alien using wormholes could travel between 2 parts of our galaxy faster than a beam of light could travel through normal space and time. It's a shortcut first described more than 150 years ago by a mathematician in Oxford, England. That man was the author known as Lewis Carroll.
Alice's Looking Glass connects the countryside of Oxford to a fantastic world called Wonderland. And if you were to put your hand through the looking glass, your hand would leave Oxford and go to the other side of forever. That is a wormhole, what we physicists call a multiply connected space.
Wormholes may be the ideal transportation network, but manipulating the laws of physics could bring catastrophic consequences.
You don't know how stable they are. It may be quite radioactive. There may be quantum corrections and radiation as you enter the wormhole, or perhaps it will close up even before you can enter.
It may be possible to artificially create a wormhole, but it would take enormous energy and advances in technology way beyond our imagination to rip through the fabric of space and time. But maybe there's an alien civilization so advanced that they can build these supergalactic highways with ease. Intelligent aliens actually move space itself.
As far as we know, space can do whatever the heck it wants. It can expand in response to the presence of matter and energy. If we
Robert?
can somehow harness that, then in principle you might be able to develop something you might call a warp drive.
The alien craft would collapse the space in front of it and simultaneously expand the space behind it. In that way, the ship would transfer from one part of the galaxy to another without actually moving an inch. It may sound like the stuff of science fiction, but for some advanced aliens, it could be science fact.
I can show you with this balloon. I have a little replica drawn of the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. And just so you know the local surroundings, I have the sun here, I have the moon, Saturn. And what I want to show you is that the Enterprise could travel away from this star system and towards this star without ever moving with respect to its local surroundings. How can I do that? Well, if I squeeze the balloon at this end, then I expand this region of the balloon. The distance between the starship and these stars has increased, but the starship hasn't moved at all with respect to its local surroundings. And so what I've done is I've had space do the work.
Nobody knows how a warp drive might be powered, and Krauss believes that its use would be fraught with danger.
It may not be dangerous for the participants in the spacecraft, but it'd be pretty dangerous for everyone else. Because when you contract space in front of you, you literally crush everything between you and the nearest star. When you expand space behind you, you put incredible tension in everything around you. You'd have to have an interstellar highway where you cleared out everything in between, because otherwise you destroy basically everything around you.
Our own technology is nowhere near sidestepping the laws of physics, but an alien civilization that has evolved 1 million years ahead of us might already have found a way.
What the?
Earthbound physicists who are looking for life take this idea very seriously. They have devised a system to categorize alien civilizations according to how advanced they may be.
When we physicists look in outer space, we don't look for little green men. We look for type 1, type 2, and type 3 civilizations.
A Type 1 alien civilization would be so advanced it could harness all forms of energy on its planet, including oceans, volcanoes, and even the weather. They would soon exhaust the power of a planet and use the energy of their local star. At this stage, they would be categorized as a Type 2 civilization.
Eventually, they become galactic. They begin to colonize entire star systems. They begin to have fantastic energies, allowing them to manipulate stars and black holes. That is Type 3. Perhaps 100,000 to 1,000,000 years more advanced than our technology.
But where would our own civilization be on this scale?
We don't even
Fluffing.
rate on this scale. We get our energy from dead plants, oil and coal. That's how primitive we are.
Our official rating is Type 0. We cannot travel across the vastness of interstellar space. However, a Type 3 civilization would have developed the technology needed to control space and time in order to travel freely throughout the universe.
You can